The alien child asked who started the war. No one answered. The war had burned across half the Orion Arm before anyone thought to ask a simple question. By then, the stars themselves carried scars. Entire planets drifted silent where cities once glowed. Trade routes that had connected hundreds of civilizations turned into graveyards of shattered fleets. The war between humanity and the Varethi Dominion had become one of the longest conflicts the galactic archives had ever recorded. The Varethi were older, stronger, patient in ways humans could barely comprehend. Their historians described humanity as volatile creatures, brilliant but reckless, driven by emotion instead of logic. To them, the war was predictable. Young civilizations always panicked when confronted with superior power, and so the war continued. Years turned into decades, decades into generations. Then something unusual happened. During a temporary ceasefire, a Varethi diplomatic vessel arrived near the ruins of a former human colony. Its purpose was simple: document the aftermath for the Dominion's historical archives. Among the delegation was a young Varethi child, too curious to remain inside the observation chamber. The child watched as humans and Varethi engineers worked together in the debris field, carefully recovering survivors from a shattered transport caught between both fleets during the last battle. No one asked which side the survivors belonged to. In vacuum suits, marked with different emblems, enemies passed, injured strangers from hand to hand, stabilizing wounds, sharing oxygen, pulling bodies from broken hulls that had once carried families trying to escape the war. The child studied the scene for a long time. Finally, it asked the question that had never appeared in any strategic report. Who started the war? The historians searched their archives. Generals reviewed battle records. Political delegates traced treaties and border disputes that stretched back nearly a century. The answer dissolved into contradictions, accusations, and forgotten decisions made by leaders long dead. No one could say with certainty where the war had truly begun. But in the wreckage between two fleets that still considered each other enemies, humans continued rescuing anyone they could reach. And for the first time in decades, the Dominion archives recorded something more important than victory. They recorded doubt, because the child had discovered something the generals never had. Sometimes the most dangerous question in a war is the one no one can answer. And sometimes the species called reckless are the first to remember what the war was supposed to protect in the first place.